Good morning. So we find ourselves on Holy Thursday. Um, it's a tough time because there would have been a time when Holy Thursday would always have fallen during school holidays. And because of the way things are going at the moment, many of us are at work today and many people, all the kids are at school, and yet it's Holy Thursday. And sort of say, well, now, how am I going to fit everything into my plans? Well, for one thing that I just need to mention right up front, please bear in mind, there is no Mass this evening at Star of the Sea. It's only happening at Blessed Sacrament. We only have one priest this year, and so the Mass will only be at Blessed Sacrament. The normal things will happen tomorrow, Good Friday, at Star of the Sea, but no Mass. So if you want to attend Mass and the washing of the feet, that will happen at Blessed Sacrament only. So Jesus then heads off to the Garden of Gethsemane, and it's a time when he would perhaps go into a plantation of some kind, maybe an olive plantation, and there amongst the trees would start praying. And it's in that time that we encounter Jesus, the human being, and Jesus, the divine. Jesus knows of his divinity, but he knows as a human being he has to go through this suffering, this hardship, and this torture. And imagine trying to prepare yourself for that. You know, I saw there was a situation some weeks ago where a guy in America was being sentenced to death, and he was allowed to choose the way he would be executed. I think eventually he chose to be executed by firing squad. I mean, outlandish, but he felt that would be the least painful way of going. To choose the way that you die, Jesus didn't have any choice, but he knew the way it was going to happen. Most horrific way. And he had to now prepare himself as a human being for it, even though he had the divine ability to maybe get around it. And then we get Judas turning up, and there's that betrayal and the arrest of Jesus, and he is taken off and put into the hands of the Romans. Jesus is sentenced to death, and he is scourged. Now that scourging was malicious. We always remind ourselves, the Roman soldiers didn't have anything else to do with themselves at night, and perhaps they'd been drinking too much wine, and they were sent this guy, and they said, let's have some fun with him. There's no TV. Let's have some fun. And they beat him brutally and scourged him, ripping his flesh, thinking it was quite fun. Man's inhumanity to man. Interestingly enough, when Jesus is scourged, we only identify Peter as being part of the crowd. We don't know where all the other apostles had gone. We will ask ourselves the question, where would we have been if we were in the crowd? Would we have been like Peter, who actually denied Jesus while it was happening? Or would we have just run away? Keep safe. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.